I was raised conservative Catholic in the Midwest by German farmer parents, so a very simple conservative world. But I think already as a little boy, living in that kind of safety. My parents had a happy marriage, lasted almost 50 years before they died. I think I had early moments of communion, of connection. I didn't know that's what they were. All I knew is I was very identified. I've never used that word in that way before, but that I felt I knew who I was, and I knew I belonged, and I knew it was all going somewhere. Now that's probably what made me want to be a Franciscan and eventually a priest, because I knew the spiritual world was real, and in many ways more real than the material world. And that was just, I know, a grace that not everybody experiences. But it has certainly been what has grounded and guided my whole life. And so much so that when you have moments like that, you're not satisfied with anything less than that. Now I know connection, communion, union, love, use whatever word, is possible and is the meaning of life. And so all the other things that I've had to do over these 70 years, they've been fine and, time killers in a way, but they weren't the thing itself. Yeah. So God was kind enough to grant me moments where I knew what was real and what mattered. And so all the rest of life became a searching for that at deeper levels. Well, what am I living for? Wow. What comes to my mind, and I hope is honest, is that each day, as soon as I can focus at the early hour, it's how can I live in communion, in union, connected. I know the word for that is love, but it's been so sentimentalized that you hate to say it, but it is true. And what's keeping me from that is all of my inner irritations, prejudices, judgmentalism, rushing into the next minute, that keeps me from love. But when I know I'm in communion, and that doesn't mean that I don't have, irritated moments or something like that, but if I know I'm choosing union, then my life is worthwhile. If it isn't, if I'm disconnected, I'm not living. It's that simple. It's just surviving. It's just problem solving. It's just getting through the day. So without any doubt, my main obstacle, if you ask that, was my own smallness, getting irritated by things that don't matter, letting things steal my attention, which aren't worth it. Why have I given my irritation or attention to this situation? Now that doesn't mean that I don't have to hear the painful situations in the world, but I can't let them control my emotional life and my life of union. So what practices I use are, it does come down to some form of daily prayer, some attempt to re-find that place of communion, that place of connection, that place of love. And whatever exercise I use, now we do a 20-minute sit here with the staff in the morning, but before I come over, I do make my cup of coffee just to start waking up the body, and I sit usually in front of a candle or an icon to try to find that place of connection. Now, I'm happy to say, in my older years, it comes more quickly. It comes more easily. Now, maybe it's because I'm not as involved in active problem solving and ministry as I was in the middle of life. But it's wonderful that it comes more easily, often joyfully, at the beginning of the day. But then it's the little things that snag me as the day goes on. Little staff not doing their job. I mean, things that, who cares? But there's a part of me that does care, or allows myself to care, frankly, about things that are none of my business. And I had one old monk say to me once, most things are none of your business. And recognizing that is the work of morning prayer. What is my business today? What is it that I have to do? And what are the many things that I really don't have to do in terms of solving that problem or understanding this situation? So it becomes a clearinghouse, my prayer life, a disconnecting from what doesn't matter, what isn't going to last, what doesn't mean that much. And if I can do that each day, I can live a life of connection. And that's what I'm living for. And, you know, I'm certainly in the last third of life. I'm 72, whatever that means. Oh, really? Okay. And I just journalized a few days ago that it was Easter Sunday. I said, I have the sense that I have turned the corner. I don't mean that in any morbid sense or I'm nearing the end, but just that I am going back home now. I'm not building any kind of success agenda anymore. It's just whatever I'm doing, I'm heading back. And that was so consoling. I think it was Easter morning that I had that sense. So I hope that's some kind of answer to your question. Oh, well, I hope so. Thank you for asking it.